Hello, this is Igoro, host of the Igoro Show, and you are listening to the Steve and Crypto Show. So keep your ears open and your mouth shut.
Hey, welcome to the Steve and Crypto Show, presented by thestevestrout.com. I'm Steve.
I'm Crypto Zoo, and we have made it to episode 69.
We've matured a lot, so we're not going to make any 69 comments.
We might be holding a couple of them back, but we're doing it for you guys because we know that's what you want here is a sophisticated.
We're all grown up now.
Yeah, you want a sophisticated show over here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You don't want all that boogersaurus talk and
Farts
jokes about
and-
69.
Yeah, we don't talk like that around here.
Yeah,
This is adults.
this is when people can write the show and tell us that they do want that kind of content.
Yeah,
It's on you. It's really on you.
they want the crazy content.
Yeah,
And you know
yeah.
how I know? Because they keep going to our Buy Me a Coffee page.
I mean, I've noticed it. I mean, we've been getting some contributions from people over the last year and a half, and we've been doing the show, and it all helps to just keep everything rolling. It helps to keep the show alive, helps to improve our gear, goes towards promotional tools and all sorts of different things. So please, if you want to visit buymeacoffee.com/Steve Crypto, we would greatly appreciate it.
You know, it's really funny. I like how you talk about us improving, and then your kid laughs in the background. Like, ha, improve this. Like, you guys suck. But yeah, other ways you could help us out is by sharing us and promoting us on social media. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. He's at CryptoZoo88. I'm at the Steve Strout. And yeah, follow us both of them places. Share our tweets about the show. Put your own tweets and posts about the show. Let everybody know that you dig us and that you're into us. Join our Facebook group for the show. We're always on there chatting, and we've been trying to do some live streams on there every couple of weeks. That's been pretty fun. We've had a few people joining us. Hopefully some more of you guys find a time to come and jump in with us. It's been a good time. So yeah, social media is another way to support the Steve and Crypto Show.
Yep. And there's another way that I'm going to mention, and that is our Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/Steve Crypto and become a member. We have a lot of exclusive content over there for you guys. I believe Steve may have just put something up on there.
And just put up some extra footage that didn't make last week's episode featuring Lord Blooddraw. I put up, there's a little segment on there, us just chatting and getting ready and getting warmed up for the show, but we had a good little talk before we even started the main show.
Yeah, that kind of thing happens a lot here. We end up just like, we get on Zoom with our guest, whoever it may be at the time, and we start talking about different things, or, they'll tell a story or whatever. And then we're like, oh shit, we've been talking for 30 minutes. We should probably hit record and get going with the official interview. So, we kind of thought at one point, like, maybe we should actually put some of this out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now that I'm starting to record it, we could do some of that. I think you guys would dig some of it, because we do get in some interesting conversation. But since we mentioned Blood Draw, that was our guest last week. He is the Horror Host Hall of Famer and fellow Rondo Award nominee. So make sure you guys head to rondoaward.com and vote in all the categories. Follow your heart, pick your favorite, except make sure you vote for your third favorite podcast, the Steve and Crypto Show. But it's very
I was going to
important.
say, even if we're not a favorite, we'd really appreciate a vote.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're third. Maybe we're in the top three. I bet we're in a few people's top three.
Yeah.
Like, we're not even in my own top three, but we're probably in a lot of other people's top three. And I think before you got cut off, we did mention our Patreon is patreon.com/SteveCrypto.
That is correct. I did
Okay.
mention that.
Okay.
Yep. We covered all bases there.
Another thing, we've been doing a trivia question each week. I think this is week 4 of the trivia questions. We do them later on in the episode, and we put a little horror trivia question out. Most of them are pretty easy, and we're just trying to interact with you guys and come up with reasons to send you guys some cool stuff, stickers and stuff. So if you get the trivia questions, the first 5 people to DM one of us the answer on any of the social media platforms, we'll send you some stickers and put your name in a drawing. Probably every couple months we'll draw something and send a little prize, be maybe like a movie or a piece of merch or something. Yeah, get on that. Stay tuned later in the episode. Get the question. We're still got slots available from the last few episodes, so make sure you go back and listen to them and get those trivia answers to us.
Yep, it's the last like 3 or 4 episodes, so just go back and check them out. I mean, you could just go back and listen to all the episodes if
Just
you
do
want to
that.
cover
It's
the grounds.
easier. Just do that.
You know,
Just do that. That's the way to do it. Listen
Yeah.
to all of them twice.
Yeah.
What you do is listen to them all once on a different platform. So listen to it on Spotify, then listen to the same one on Apple, and then listen to it on Stitcher.
I hear they all
stream it through
sound just
Anchor.
a little different in each platform.
Yeah.
Like there's like a little bit of maybe a little segment that we cut out. It's not in one platform, but it's there in another. You got to go and listen to find out.
That's really not true. It just improves our numbers. The more listeners we get, the better it is for the show and being
I didn't actually think
noticed and
buy
rankings
that anyway.
and all that stuff. And when you are listening, wherever you listen, be sure to rate or review us if it's possible on your whatever player you use.
Yeah, we've definitely seen some nice reviews and some pleasant feedback, and we really appreciate everybody that has reached out so far to say anything about our show.
And crypto is paying these people good money to leave these nice reviews. So if you're a little short change one month on rent, just call crypto up and be like,
I'm making beer
bro,
deliveries.
I got these reviews.
I'm passing free bottles to people on my deliveries. Like, go write a review.
We're just kidding. We don't bribe people.
No.
This week.
Did you want to get in?
Oh. Did I want to get in what?
Well, something that happened this week. Did you want to get into the sad news, or do you want to save that for a little bit later?
Let's go ahead and mention real quick. You guys know me and Crypto are both wrestling fans. And literally today, as we're recording this on Monday, a kind of legend WWE Hall of Famer passed away today. Scott Hall, also known as Razor Ramon, or the Outsiders and the NWO and all that shit. He was a legend, been around a long time. He passed away today at the young age of 63.
Yeah,
so that's a bummer. It's a bummer, but he had a good career.
Yeah,
did some cool shit.
Definitely.
I wasn't the biggest fan, but I was a fan of some of the stuff he'd done.
Yeah, I was a fan of some of the things I was a fan of just NWO in general.
Yeah. See, I liked him more when he was Razor and had that fucking ladder match with Shawn.
Oh,
Michaels,
that was really good.
That was one of the best matches. So
yeah, that was pretty good.
Rest in peace, Razor or Scott Hall or whatever you remember him as. It's tough. It's a bummer.
Yep.
On a brighter note, we have a guest this week. We go from somebody dying to like a guest. We have a guest. He is the co-host of the Thing with Two Heads podcast, and he has the Horrors Hollow Ground series on YouTube, and he is also a talent representative for celebrities at conventions and stuff. And his name is Sean Clark, and he came on and talked with us a little bit about what he does and what he's done and his collectibles, and I don't even remember what we talked about. We talked about a lot of stuff. It was an awesome conversation.
We covered a lot of ground. We talked a lot longer than I think we thought we were going to. Yeah. And that was really nice too. Just we just chatted about a bunch of different things, and he definitely spins a lot of plates. So we appreciate him giving us some time. Like you'll hear he had a convention
when
just a few days later
with us. He was literally like packing and like ordering fucking photos and stuff for his convention that weekend.
Yeah.
I guess he said he was handling like 9 celebrities that weekend.
Yep.
Then the following weekend he had like 20. Like,
yeah,
he's the man though. He's a hardworking dude. And he's definitely earned his successes. Before we get to that chat with him, let's run through a little bit of a couple news tidbits that have been going on. I know the nerds listening are probably excited to know that Deadpool 3 found its director, which means they're probably going to get the ball rolling on that movie soon. So that should be good. That'll make him a shitload of money.
I'm very excited. I mean, I love the first 2.
The director, I guess he worked with Ryan Reynolds on a couple other movies. Sean Levy or Levi. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name.
I think he worked on Free Guy. That movie was really fun.
Did you watch that? I didn't get around.
I did. That one. Yeah, we haven't really talked about that one. It was fun. It's really good. Yeah. And it's on Disney Plus to watch. I mean, it's all over the place now.
I'll have to check that out. Let's see. Other comic book related stuff. They announced their release date for the next season of The Umbrella Academy on Netflix, that's a really cool show. I don't know if you've been watching it, but it's a good show.
I haven't.
Releasing on June 22nd. What else we got going on? There's going to be a I Am Legend follow-up with Will Smith. Our first one wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
I preferred it better. I preferred the Vincent Price one back in the day better, but it's cool.
Isn't I'm probably wrong. Is Michael B. Jordan going to be in this one with him? Who is it? Somebody else is going to be in it with him.
There might have been some mention about that. I'm not sure. I just know the only info I know is that they're doing another movie. So
yeah,
there's that. What else do we got? They did put a little bit of info out about the Predator movie that's coming this summer. It's gonna be called Prey, and I guess it's gonna be set like in 1700s and like the Great Plains. And seems kind of interesting. It should be a new take on it after every other Predator movie being basically the same thing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a new Predator movie in general.
And you said you have some info, a little bit of news on the new Evil Dead movie coming out.
Yeah. So I heard. Well, I didn't hear about it. I read about it. They
called you and told you.
Yeah. Oh, the Chin called and gave me the old update. I greatly appreciated the call. No, I read that they've basically finished up most of the film. They finished up the film itself, but they're just working on like the music and audio production, that sort of thing.
Basically the usual post-production stuff.
Yeah. So the director Lee Cronin, who also directed The Hole in the Ground, he announced that they did picture lock, like I said. They're moving on to music composition, sound design. Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi have been involved from the very beginning. And the synopsis goes as so. In the 5th Evil Dead film, a road-weary Beth pays an overdue visit to her older sister Ellie, who is raising 3 kids on her own in a cramped LA apartment. The sisters' reunion is cut short by the discovery of a mysterious book deep in the bowels of Ellie's building, giving rise to flesh-possessing demons and thrusting Beth into a primal battle for survival as she is faced with the most nightmarish version of motherhood imaginable. So we can...
Honestly, that sounds kind of boring.
We can guess what's going to happen. Nightmarish version of motherhood. So, we know what happens to people that are possessed in the Evil Dead world. Maybe she'll find a way around it. But yeah,
I'm sure she will.
Just the fact that it's an Evil Dead film, I'm excited for that, but I'm also slightly worried. So
like it sounds like they're hopefully it don't alienate like the hardcore fans, because it sounds like they're trying to be more than it needs to be. You know what I mean? Like more of a
serious tone.
Actual have more of a serious tone to it.
Yeah.
When Evil Dead movies are just supposed to be fucking off the wall and funny and gory.
Kind of goofy. Over the top, slapstick.
And this sounds like they're trying to have like a real story to it. Not saying the others did not have a story, but this, I don't know. It sounds like it should be like a fucking Jordan Peele movie or something. You know what I mean?
Nope.
Yeah, nope. That's coming too, huh? Nope. That should be good. But that's cool, man. I mean, hopefully it does maybe get some mainstream success, so that way it draws some eyes onto the original Evil Dead movies that people haven't seen.
Yeah.
Want to give a chance because they're called Evil Dead, and you know, people aren't, not everybody's into horror. They should be, but they're not.
And some people are very selective with their horror too.
Yeah. So maybe it'll open people's eyes to it. You mentioned Evil Dead stuff. The remake, the director of the remake, Fede Alvarez, is writing and directing a new Alien movie for Ridley Scott, which is kind of cool. Could always, since we're getting another Predator movie, we might as well get another Alien movie.
Yeah.
Like I prefer the Alien franchise myself, so I'm excited for it.
I like both. I mean, I've always been more on the side of Team Predator, but I love the Alien movies, and I'm kind of in the minority of the group of people that actually enjoyed Alien Covenant.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's a few, little tidbits of news that came up this week, as we just mentioned. Not much more. Honestly, personally, the biggest thing is Rob Zombie's Monsters movie got a PG rating.
Yeah, that says a lot right there.
That just kind of confirms that it's not going to be like a gory rape fest like like most of his movies. Not that I don't enjoy his movies. You know what I mean?
It's not going to be a hillbilly horror fest.
Yeah. It's going to be, rape fest was probably the wrong, but there is some of that. So,
yeah.
Anyways, his shit is different. I enjoy his movies.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy all the stuff that happens in his movies, but I enjoy,
right.
Yeah, like a good gory movie.
Yeah. I mean, I love House of a Thousand Corpses. That's still my favorite movie he's made, and one of my favorite horror movies. And Rejects is cool too, but the first Halloween, I like that.
After Corpses and Rejects, they're all kind of like meh.
Yeah.
Take them or leave them.
I mean, when he made that first Halloween movie, a lot of people bitched about it because they didn't want background on Michael. They didn't want to know why he was crazy, and that he had an abusive stepdad and sister hated him. And, they didn't like all that background. I kind of enjoyed that part. I just thought it was cool. Could the movie have been better? Yeah. Is it better than part 2? Yes. But yeah, I mean, as far as zombies movies go, I'm still kind of just set with the first one, and everything else. Well, Rejects too. But yeah, everything else is just kind of.
This Monsters movie is going to be the one, man.
Yeah, I think he's going to win a lot of people in with this one. He's going to make a lot of people happy.
Definitely. I'm feeling that. The more that they're releasing about this, the less worried I am about it. Because as a kid, I grew up watching Monsters reruns and fucking loving it. And
Me
I
too.
was when I first heard that Zombie was doing this, like we talked about before, I was worried, man. I was like, come on, no, please don't Rob Zombie up the fucking Monsters. And then we see all the stuff he's releasing and teasers and announcing that it's only rated PG, like good.
There's a few people that are making movies now, or people that have been doing it for a while, that I kind of have a little bit of faith in from time to time, knowing that they are fans of the genre that they're working in. So, and some of them are kind of like left field people, like Danny McBride. being way into horror. You know, a lot of people don't know that about him.
You
But
just
he's a
know him
huge
from
fan.
comedy, yeah.
Yeah, he's known for comedy, but he's a huge horror fan. So once I found out he was doing Halloween, I was like, okay, I'm into that. You know, let's see what he has to do, or let's see what he's got up his sleeve. You know, and it turned out pretty good. And then, you know, Rob Zombie, same thing. He's a fan of the genre. He's a fan of the monsters. So
yeah, but it's
when
less
it was first
surprising.
announced,
It's less surprising for him to be making
yeah,
horror movies
right,
than
right.
Danny McBride.
Yeah, it's not so surprising. Okay, another one that's maybe a little surprising is Jordan Peele. You know, like when he started out, people didn't expect him to be making
Comedy.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
But him and Keegan both are major horror movie fans. And if you watch their show, their sitcom, even Mad TV, they were doing a lot of like Halloween stuff back then. And they've made so much like horror content in Key and Peele in the 3-4 seasons that they had.
With then like the movies he's putting out are fucking like really smart.
Yeah, more on the psychological side.
Yeah.
Did he host Twilight Zone? Did that happen?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. He did do the Twilight Zone, which I only watched a couple episodes of it, but it was really good. I'm surprised it got canceled like as quick as it did.
Yeah.
Weird, but world wasn't ready for it.
I like people like that, you know, that you don't expect to make that style of movie, you know, or anybody that surprises you like that. I mean, even I'm not a fan of everything he's done, but even Sandler, you know, when he like pulls a serious movie out of his ass, and he actually does it all right,
nails it,
you know,
sure.
Yeah, he can do that. That movie Reign Over Me with him and Don Cheadle wasn't too bad.
I really like when a performer shows more range in what they do. Like, look at I was going to bring up the fact that like all these new horror movies coming out and streaming and everything. You mentioned people kind of showing their range. Sebastian Stan.
Oh yeah, perfect.
You know, I mean, we just know mostly as Bucky. You know what I mean? At the Winter Soldier, and he would just always just kind of like broody, like just one dimensional. I mean, he was badass, but it's not. And then we've seen him as Tommy Lee.
Right. He went from
sells it like he's believable as Tommy Lee because Tommy Lee is a fucking nut job and he plays as a good Tommy Lee. But then he goes
fighting
next
crime,
level,
talking to his dick, and now he's in this new movie called Fresh.
Like honestly, it's probably one of my favorite movies that's come out this year so far. It's really good, and he plays just a fucking crazy switch flipping psychopath. It's really good. I don't want to talk much about it. It like just came out. I was gonna mention that in movies like No Exit, which is kind of predictable, but it was good. Other Studio 666, you know, all these
I really want to watch that
are hitting on streaming or, you know, in theaters and doing well. They're all horror movies, and it's just we're seeing more and more of them in the mainstream, and that's like just bringing me joy, man. It's making me happy because we're finally getting recognized. Besides just being like what do you refer to as the black sheep of the movie? You know, the black, and it's like we're not that anymore. We're starting to be the cool kids. You know what I mean? Jordan Peele, like his movies have been, you know, award nominated and winning films. They're horror movies. It's good, man. It's crazy. I don't know. I'm just want to say it just makes me happy with those movies. And like I said, watch Fresh. It's on Hulu. Watch No Exit. That's a pretty solid movie. There's a couple cool gross scenes. Like I don't want to spoil too much, but like dude like fucking nail guns this chick's hand to the wall, and it was kind of brutal. It looked I felt that shit when they did it. But watch it. It's a good movie. Like I said, that one's kind of predictable, but it was fun to watch. And it's short.
I'm gonna look for No Exit. I watched the first hour or so of Fresh, and it's really, really good.
Like it starts off, it feels just like, oh, look, this is gonna be a cute movie, and then it just fucking takes a turn. Like
give it time. Hopefully, anybody listening, hopefully you know, you're not the type to like shut off a movie if it's not good 15-20 minutes in. Give it at least a half hour. About a half hour in, it just starts picking up.
Goes off the wall. Yeah. It's wild.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to finish it real soon. Maybe even when we're done recording this.
Yeah. Do it. Horror's coming up. And thanks to all these movies and new directors and people, content creators, like our guest this week, Sean Clark, who has the Horrors Hallowed Grounds series on YouTube, which he goes around to famous locations from horror films and kind of documents it, and it's pretty interesting. And then his podcast thing with two heads is fun. They remind me of us, but better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they just
Yeah.
talk about whatever and just go off talking shit about. They try to stick to like a format, and then they just veer off, way off. And
yeah, it's funny. Sometimes I'll be listening to them and they'll go way off, and I'll like look back at the screen again, like, wait, did I put the right episode on? Like, yeah, like I did hit the one about Halloween, right? And, they're off talking about who knows what, but it's really fun. I enjoy them. I like putting them on when I'm cooking or whatever, just doing things around the house, having it on for background.
That's why I'll never promote something in advance that we do and at work. You know what I mean? I know, like, we have the Horror Host series, which is going to be ongoing every so often, every couple weeks, every month or so. We'll probably have a new host on in between our regularly scheduled programming. But I'll never be like, oh, next week we're going to talk about this, that, and the other thing, because I don't know what we're going to talk about. And I think that's part of our appeal to people, because they just sit down and listen to us. Like, what are we talking about? You know what I mean? You just join a casual conversation.
Yeah.
Which I think was what people like about us.
From what we've gathered, it seems like they do.
Yeah. I mean, it shows by them buying the merch, which we should have mentioned earlier, but we didn't.
That's right.
We have a merch page. Go on Etsy and search Steven Crypto, and our merch will come up. We have a couple t-shirt designs, mugs, magnets. We got some cool shit up there. People are buying it. We got our samples in, and they look fucking awesome. I'm actually wearing one of the shirts today, and I was just drinking from one of the. I didn't realize I was drinking from the mug, and you pointed it out, but yeah. It's cool stuff. But
it's okay. You don't have to act that cool about it. Act like you didn't know you're drinking out of your brand new coffee mug from us.
I literally just grabbed it and started making it. And I knew I was, but I totally forgot about that fact that I was. And then when I picked it up in front of the camera, it probably looked like I was like, look at me, but I wasn't. Anyways, let's chat with Sean Clark. You guys will dig this talk. When we come back, we will throw a trivia question at you and talk to you, and we'll be back.
We all love a good ghost story, but have you ever wondered how it came to be?
Have you ever wanted to dig deeper into the true history of your favorite stories of the macabre?
How about whether or not it really went down that way?
Join us bi-weekly on Ghoulish Tendencies podcast, where we, two paranormal investigators, delve into the depths of the famous and not so famous cases of murder, ghosts, legends, and lore, with a healthy dose of debunking.
I'm Gabby, the resident Mulder.
And I'm Kim, the resident Scully.
And we're your ghostesses of Ghoulish Tendencies podcast, found wherever you listen to podcasts. Stay spooky.
Hey, this is Ace Vaughn Johnson from LA Guns, and you're listening to the Steve and Crypto Show.
Hey, we're on the Steve and Crypto Show with a guest. He's a YouTube content creator. He's a talent representative for celebrities at conventions. Some of our favorite celebrities, lots of horror personalities, which we like. And he's also a fellow podcaster. We are glad to have Sean Clark on the show. How you doing, buddy?
I'm just dandy.
Just dandy. Dandy.
Yeah.
So, well, thanks for taking a little time to BS with us for a few. Sounds like
thank you.
You have a big run of conventions and stuff coming up over the next rest of your life. So
yeah, I really want March to be over with. That's all I can say. March is brutal, but that's okay.
Well,
I could be going to a desk job. I gotta knock on wood, be grateful. Anyway.
Yeah, that's actually something I was going to ask you, is if you weren't, talent rep at shows, what do you think you'd be doing?
Porn star for sure.
Porn star? Okay.
No
Absolutely.
hesitation there.
With these looks, this body, come on. I I don't know, man. I mean, I was in the mortgage business. I was a loan officer, was the last real job I had. I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
Hated it. I did it for 15 years. Now, I wasn't a loan officer full 15 years. I was in the mortgage business 15 years. I was a processor, a funder, and then lastly, a loan officer. But yeah, I hated that. It was just a good paying job that I stumbled upon by accident, like most of everything I've done in my life. Just happened, it fell in my lap, and I was like, oh, all right, how much? Okay, So, but yeah, who knows? Who knows what it's a question I ask myself.
Yeah.
Like,
how would I be doing? Yeah.
If I didn't get lucky and get into this world I'm in, where the hell would I be? I don't know.
So quickly, how did you get into this world?
Oh God, that's a long, boring story. I mean, it was, I was just a fan going to horror conventions and started making a lot of friends in the industry, and always kind of had my foot in it in one way or another. And it was just, doors just kept opening, and one day, this one celebrity I helped get into a convention, his first convention, he asked me if I could get him in another one. And at the time, I was a journalist, and I had been going to conventions, covering them. I've been going all over to conventions all over the US, covering them for a website. And so I knew a lot of promoters. And then I started kind of looking into how it all worked, and did it not for the money. I did it because I was like, oh, wait, if I'm the talent rep, I get flown in, I get a hotel room, and I get to go to the convention for free. I was like, sign me up.
Yeah.
So that's what I was doing it for at first, was just like, wow, this is cool. And also at the same time, I had been trying to push my Horrors Hallowed Grounds show concept, and I was promoting that, and also the Black Waters of Echoes Pond movie I was working on. I was promoting that. So I thought, well, this is also a way I can get to horror conventions all over the US and promote on someone else's dime. And then the crazy thing that happened is I started to actually make money, because I started getting some pretty good clients, and just one of those things, a snowball effect kept happening, where somebody would refer somebody to me and go, oh, hey, I was talking to so-and-so, would you be interested? I'm like, yeah, and it just kept growing,
So like the hustle basically turned into a pretty good career for yourself.
Yeah. And I got really stupid lucky, because it was February 2006. I was sitting in my office at work, the mortgage company, and I realized for the last 12 months I had been spending most of my time working on non-mortgage stuff. Like, I would sit at my desk and I'd be calling promoters, and I'd be doing this and that. And I wasn't working on, and I was like, I'm barely doing anything here. I'm funding a couple loans here and there, making a little money. But I thought to myself, you know what, if I want to do this as a living, now, not so much the convention thing, that was just something else I was doing. I was thinking more the filmmaker thing. Like I said, I need to just 100% be all in and quit this job. And I took that chance, which was really scary, for me to do at the time. And it paid off, man. I mean, things just kept going. But then, the funny thing is, the movie took forever to come out. It didn't do anything. I mean, it was in theaters, which was crazy that it was playing at the biggest theater by my house, but nobody was going to see it. I mean, it didn't do anything. But it was a weird process. We shot it in 2007. It came out in theaters in 2010, and it came out on Blu-ray and DVD in 2014. There was just these big gaps that it was just stupid people making stupid decisions, dragging their feet. And
yeah. What was the movie called?
It was called The Black Waters of Echo's Pond. It starred Robert Patrick, Daniel Harris, James Duvall.
Oh wow, that's a good cast for your first go at it, huh?
Yeah, it had Elise and Electra Avion, the crazy babysitter twins from Grindhouse. It had Nick Manel, who had just been in Rob Zombie's Halloween and the Friday the 13th remake. Richard Tyson was in it from 3 O'Clock High and Kindergarten Cop. Believe me, for my first film, I was spoiled, but again, I didn't direct it. Someone else did. Right. I was there. I was there at all times and, giving my feedback, but at the end of the day, it was someone else's movie. But, I'm proud of it. But what ended up happening from that point, there were a lot more opportunities, but I started making a lot of money doing the convention thing. And I was like, whoa, I just spent 2 years of my life busting my ass on this movie that I literally got paid 10 grand for. So do I do that, or do I go over here where I'm, making close to 10 grand in a weekend, if I had a really, really good show. So I kind of went that route, Yeah,
definitely. It makes complete sense to me. So you were doing the movie and you were kind of getting the ball rolling on Horror's Hallowed Grounds around the same time, you said?
Yeah, the Horror's Hallowed Grounds thing is something I kept stopping and starting. It started as an online article the website was thehorrorchannel.com, which was supposed to be the first horror channel, which never became a real horror channel. It was more of a news site, and at some point the whole thing just fell apart, and then we all left and started dreadcentral.com. And so I was doing it as an online article at dreadcentral.com. And while all that was happening, I did that Halloween 25 Years of Terror documentary in 2005, which was after the Halloween 25 Years of Terror convention we put on. So the first episode, a video episode of Horror's Hallowed Grounds, because it was just an article it was like a written article with comparison photos, like today, then and now kind of shit. I was in Malika Cod's office and we were talking about extras for the 25 Years of Terror DVD. And he's like, we need more content. Do you have any ideas? And I said, well, there's this thing I do online that I've been thinking of turning into a show. And I kind of pitched it to him and he was like, yeah, do that. Go do that. So I'm like, okay. So I just went and shot it and literally had to have it turned in, finished in 2 weeks. So, fortunately PJ Souls was cool enough to go out with me and do it. And as we were friends and that's how it started. And it's so funny because we thought at the time, because it got people really reacted to it. All the reviews were like, dude, this thing's cool. So then we had a convention when I say it was kind of a team of me, a guy named Buzz Wallach, and a guy named Andrew Cash, who were sort of the Horror's Hallowed Grounds team for most of the run of up until COVID, really. We started thinking, we could do something with this. So we had a convention we had to go to in Texas. It was called Fear Fest. And while I was there, I said, hey, we're all going to be in Texas. Why don't we shoot a Texas Chainsaw Massacre episode? Oh, that's a great idea. So we went and shot that and ended up sitting on that episode for years. Because what we were trying to do is we were trying to get it sold as a series. And I came close like 3 times. I mean, I had deals like ready to go. At Lionsgate, Sony was going to do it at one point. Things were moving, but it would always stall out. Somebody would get fired, and that guy's not here anymore. It's like shit. And then, so I actually kind of gave up on it until Andrew Cash made Never Sleep Again, the Nightmare documentary. And he said, hey, you want to do an episode for this? I'm like, okay. So we went and shot that one. That was 2010. So it was like first episode 2005, second episode 2007, third episode 2010. And then again, after that, raved reviews. Everybody, dude, that's the greatest. Because I really think that the Elm Street 3 episode is one of our best, although it has serious pacing issues now that I watch it. But it's a really good episode, and we had great guests. Well, it again stalled out. It just stalled, and ended up we didn't do another episode until 2014, which is Michael Felsher from Red Shirt Pictures contacted me and said, hey, I'm working with this new company called Scream Factory. They're doing Halloween 2 and 3 on Blu-ray special editions. I know you did that Halloween 1 episode. Would you want to do up 2 and 3? And I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? Hell yeah. So he really kind of kickstarted it again for me by, getting me involved with Scream Factory. But then that turned into a whole nother thing, because Scream Factory didn't get what I was doing at first, and they didn't really like it. and they almost didn't put it on the releases. There was a big fight that went on. So.
Right. So it kind of basically started sort of as like a special feature thing with these releases, and then it kind of now it's the YouTube thing with subscribers, and
it was a big mistake. I made a big mistake. The big mistake I made was underestimating YouTube, because there's guys like Adam the Woo, who's a good friend of mine.
Right.
He started doing his stuff on YouTube in 2010. I easily could have got the jump on him. And because he was in it early and he was doing it first on YouTube, he became the location guy. I remember people would come up to me, because I wasn't watching YouTube. I didn't know anything about him. And people would be like, oh yeah, Adam the Woo. And I'd be like, who? I don't know who he is, and but then, we ended up becoming friends and all this stuff. But, I was bottom line is I was doing it before these guys, but all these other guys that got onto YouTube before me kind of grabbed the glory, if you will, and pooled in all the subscribers, and they're making money off of it now, and I'm like sitting back going, nothing drives me more crazy. And I tell Adam this too, this is no secret, but nothing drives me more crazy when I see a comment of somebody going, oh, this guy's like a cheap Adam the Woo knockoff. And I'm like, motherfucker, I've been doing this. You know how long I've been doing this?
Yeah, you could just show them the video from the Monroeville Mall.
I know.
That was like OG. That's way back. Yeah.
1993.
Yeah.
I mean,
man.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I was into this a long ass time ago, but my first official location video was 1996. And I did it on VHS, and I used to make copies and sell them, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, somewhere out there, somebody has my original band demo, if you will.
There's like a ton of research that has to go into scouting out all the locations, figuring them out.
Dude, these kids today got it so fucking easy. They don't have any. Dude, try finding this shit pre-internet.
Yeah.
That was work. I mean, I drove around neighborhoods with a map book, Right. That's how I was finding shit. You
couldn't do much research from home.
Yeah, these kids now are like, oh, we should do a Halloween location. Hold on, let me look.
Google,
Oh, there it is. Okay, Let me print this out. Let's go.
Now having the showbiz connections, does that help at all with finding some of this stuff?
Well, yeah, it did. Early on, I would definitely ask the actors that I worked with and were friends, hey, do you remember where that was? And and sometimes they were helpful, sometimes they steered me the wrong direction.
Right.
Memories aren't so good. But
have there been any locations you visited that have been from all of them obviously they were from some of your favorite movies, but have there been any that you've been like, holy fuck, I'm actually at this place right now?
That happens all the time. Yeah. No, I mean, it's there's definitely surreal moments, man. I remember one of them because A Clockwork Orange is one of my all-time favorite films, and when I went to England and I'm walking in that tunnel where they beat up the homeless guy, I'm just like, and it looks exactly the same, and I'm just like, dude, this is crazy. I'm standing here right where that happened, I mean, that kind of stuff, it's a trip. I got to go, I'm going to do a Clockwork Orange episode eventually because I did it as an article. That's the other thing. I'm so pisses me. I was like, why didn't I film all this shit? I was just out taking pictures, but I did film a little bit. A few years ago, I went to the UK and a buddy of mine named Rich, who lives there, somehow talked to the homeowner of the writer's house in Clockwork Orange where they rape his wife. That house. He talked him into letting us in, and he was super cool. And I filmed some stuff in there, and it was crazy being in that living room, just going, wow, Stanley Kubrick was right here. And, this is nuts,
This isn't inside of a home, but I've heard about the people that are currently inside the Michael Myers home.
Which one?
And I guess it's probably the classic house. I don't think it's the one from 2018. I believe it's the original house. And I guess, the previous owners painted the door a different color, and it was originally red, I believe.
I think you're mixing it up with Elm Street.
Maybe. Okay, maybe it's that.
Yeah.
So the people that are in it now, from what I read, I believe they painted the door red again, and they've put signs out where they've said, like, feel free to take pictures and hang out if you want or whatever. Yeah. It's pretty cool for them to do that. They're not letting people come inside, but.
Well, it's crazy is if you buy these homes and then get pissed off that fans show up. Like, I don't know, have you heard the stories about the Goonies house?
Oh yeah.
It's in the story.
That they put up a tarp. They like basically covered the whole house. I mean, it's like, dude, really? Are you that fucking bitter? Sell it.
Some super fan will buy it for like
twice
the friggin' value. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, for sure. Yep. I mean, I don't understand that attitude. It's so refreshing when you go to a place and someone's like, "Oh, you a fan of? Come take a look," And I mean, it's so nice, But then again, I can understand because I mean, just if I walk into my kitchen and I look out the front window and I see somebody standing on the sidewalk in front of my house looking at my house, I'm like, what's that motherfucker doing? Right. So, I mean, I can't imagine what it would be like every time you look out the window. There's people taking pictures of your house.
Yeah.
It probably feels a little intrusive, but you know what you're getting into,
Yep, of course.
That would be a good hustle to get going is get some capital together and go around buying some of these famous houses and just flipping them to super fans.
Well, I almost did it. I almost bought the Silence of the Lambs house, the Buffalo Bill house.
Right.
And I'm really stoked that the guy that did get it, turned it to an Airbnb. That was my whole idea. He did exactly what I wanted to do, but was too scared to do. He had the balls to do it. So I give him mad props.
It's an Airbnb. So like, can you?
You can rent out the whole house. Yep.
That's cool.
That's crazy.
They'll wheel you down all your supplies and things.
Like he did it up. He did it up so it looks just like the movie. I mean, he did the. His name's Chris Rohan, and he actually works in film as a set designer and stuff. So he did the basement, like Buffalo Bill's lair, and the mannequins and the sewing machine and everything. He did a killer job.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I was the first person that, I mean, he had family and friends, but I was the first customer, the first person that stayed there. Myself and Nathan from Horror Hound magazine and his girlfriend and a few others. We got to spend a weekend there. It was so cool, man.
So did they have a hole in the basement floor for you to climb down into and throw lotion down to you? Or?
Well, the well was obviously a set, but they are building one, and they have a room that looks like that. If you watch my episode, it's on my YouTube channel. And I
gotta check that out.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it's a dope house too. I mean, it's a really cool. I mean, I love that house. I was like, man, I would retire in this house. It's cool. It's just in the middle of nowhere. That's the only downside.
Yeah. Isn't it like in Ohio or something?
It's outside of Pittsburgh in a town called, it's got a weird name. Starts with a P, I think. I can't remember. But it's this weird little town that you got to go across a 1-lane bridge to get to. I mean, it's out in the boonies, man.
It's sketchy. So yeah, that's Horrors Hallowed Grounds. YouTube, check it out. You guys could find him easy. Search for Malfunction.
Yep.
Malfunction. How did that name come up?
I'll show you. Hold on.
It sounds like kind of like some old like punk rock name or something.
Close.
Yeah.
So I used to be in a band called Malfunction.
Oh, nice.
And this was our CD. So our guitar player, his name was Al, and everybody called him Al Function. To this day, everybody calls him Al Function, and that band is over 20 years old. That's just his nickname. And one day, as a joke, I said, well, if you're Al Function, I'm Malfunction. and it was just a joke. And it's obviously a name I don't ever have to worry about anybody else having used. Like if you make an account on something, it's like username, you put in Malfunction. I mean, nobody, you put in malfunction, taken. You can do malfunction 1298, yeah. But Malfunction, it's usually available. So I don't know. I thought it was somewhat clever, but it really wasn't.
So what did you play in the band?
I was the drummer.
Nice. Cool. I'm a drummer as well.
Yeah. I play everything.
Kind of thought so with the heads behind you that maybe you were a drummer, but I didn't know. Yeah.
But then I got a guitar there, and there's another over there, and a bass over there. I mean, I do play everything, but that's what I ended up being in pretty much every band I was in.
Right on.
Do you still find time to like get together and jam with people and stuff, or no?
No, I play still. I've been playing a lot lately. I got the itch recently, so I've been playing, trying to do like an hour a night just to get my chops back.
Good.
And also, I've been on a diet, and it's get in the garage and sweat. Get a good workout. Depending on the music you're playing.
What's your favorite style to play? Like what kind of music do you really enjoy playing to?
I like playing heavy stuff, so I mean,
Same.
I just went and saw Metallica in Vegas, so I've been on a Metallica hit kick. So I'll put on Master of Puppets and try to go through the whole album,
Oh man, dude, just that song itself. I mean, you'll break a sweat playing that 8.5 minutes long.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Yeah, it's just fun, It's and I have an electronic kit. I have an acoustic kit, but I have I bought a Roland V drum kit, and so I run the headphones with the iPod, and I'm just listening and playing along. It's great, and I'm not bugging anybody.
Yep, that's how I have to do it too. I got an Alesis electric kit. And, I used to piss off the neighbors all the time just playing the regular one. I had the cops called on me at 2:00 in the afternoon. This isn't fun anymore.
Yeah, I used to have a music room upstairs, which wasn't too bad. You could hear it outside, but it wasn't too bad. But I gave that room up to my girlfriend, let it be her room for all her stuff. And I moved the drums to the garage. that garage door is just not insulated at all. It might as well be open, you know.
Right. You're talking about the different rooms and stuff. You have quite a collection of memorabilia and props and autographs and everything.
Yeah. I wish all you guys listening right now could see it, but if you go check out his channel on YouTube, you can.
There you go.
I'm showing all the good stuff right now. Look at this.
Yeah. I wish you guys could see it. Yeah, this would be great.
God.
But was this the collecting? Was it always a part of your life, or was it kind of a?
Yeah. Well, excuse me. Props. I don't think I got my first prop until early 90s. I was born in 1970. But growing up, I collected records. That was my big thing, was records. I had a pretty extensive vinyl collection. Still do. But that was what I really got into. And then toys. Oh, excuse me. Records, toys, and then you know, as I got into like the late 80s, early 90s, as a horror fan, you know, if you're my age, you went through the whole, you know, laser discs, and then you know, from laser discs to DVD, from DVD to Blu-ray, from Blu-ray to HD, you know, 4K. It's like a sickness that never ends. I can't tell you how many copies of Halloween, Evil Dead, and Dawn of the Dead I fucking owned on various formats and special editions.
Right.
So, I think we're laughing because we can relate.
I feel it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about what point did you realize that you have a problem? Like it's something we'd never stop doing, but we all know that we have an issue.
Well, I mean, you know, one thing I'll, you know, my ex-wife definitely would kind of be like, Jesus, you know, enough already. I will say my current fiance is pretty much, she's pretty supportive, you know, like I'll be like, oh my God, you know, there's this, I don't even want to tell you how much it is. Well, how much is it? And I tell her, and she like, well, do you want it? Like, yeah, you can afford it. Buy it. I'm like, okay, bad influence. All right. You know, so
bad, but good.
Yeah. But I mean, I definitely, when the pandemic started, I definitely, things were getting pretty bad. Like I was amassing, I was like, I'm getting close to an episode of Hoarders here. And you know, I'm gonna have an intervention pretty soon. Somebody's gonna come over and go, Sean. So during that time, I spent most of that time organizing stuff and selling off a lot of stuff I just didn't need. I mean, I would just buy stuff and put it in boxes and put it in the garage. I'm like, why am I doing this? I can't even see it. I can't even enjoy it. Why am I? So I've really pumped the brakes on a lot of the collecting. Like I still buy stuff, but it's not like, dude, I used to get up at like friggin' 8 a.m. and go to Target and Walmart and Toys R Us to, you know, when they're putting out the new shit. I was that guy buying everything. I can't even believe I did that stuff, man. It's like, what was I thinking? You know? And now, I mean, you know, as a horror fan now, I mean, it's nuts. I mean, back then, I got to get everything because there isn't that much of it. But now they're putting out action figures from movies you would have never thought there'd be action figures.
Oh yeah.
You know?
So speaking of toys and collectibles and all that, do you have a favorite line that you've collected, either past or present? Is there anything that really stands out that you were just nuts over?
I mean, you know, obviously we all went through the movie Maniacs phase, and then NECA came out and did their thing. And I don't know. I mean, when a company if I have a favorite movie, and company puts some stuff out and I've been trying to get all of it or something, I've definitely backed off of that a bit, but I don't know. I mean, I think the best is like the Hot Toys sideshow stuff, like the real amazing, figures that they come out with. I mean, but I don't really collect that much of them. I try to stay away from it because what am I going to do with all those,
They take up a lot of space, that's for sure.
They do. Yeah. They do. And now you got all these companies like Trick or Treat now putting out all these figures. I mean, dude, it's too much. I hate to say it. It's getting to the point where I never thought I would say there's too many Michael Myers figures. But yeah. But
kind of forces you to be selective though. So that's,
and when you buy so many, you go to the store and you're like, do I have this one?
Yeah, you forget. Yeah.
Nope. Dude, that happens to me a lot. You know how many different double copies of records I own? Because I'll get home and go, fuck, I had this shit. I didn't realize I had this.
Yeah. Well, at least
all the time.
At least COVID, you got some good out of the situation, some positive, and it allows you to thin things out and get organized.
I tell you what, the whole COVID break, which was really like a year and a half, really, I think,
something like that.
It was such a blessing in disguise. I mean, I hate to make light of it because I know it was tragic for a lot of people, but for me, it was like this vacation I sorely needed, but couldn't take. I couldn't take a vacation. I tried to take a vacation pre-COVID. Nay and I went to Puerto Rico, and the whole week we were there, I was stressed out over, I just got a text from, and people are up my ass about stuff, and it was a stressful. I mean, I had fun when we had fun, but the whole time I was under stress and pressure of things that had to be done, and you're constantly thinking about work. And one thing that was beautiful about COVID was, you know what? I wake up in the morning and there's not a single text on my phone, not a single one. I turn my phone on in the morning. It usually go, bloop, 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 bloop. I'm like, and it would like silence. It was like, oh, do you hear that?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
You start thinking like, is there something wrong with my phone?
Yeah. And it was great because it was that thing where like I needed this break so bad, but I knew if I took that break, I could lose business, lose clients, that this guy's not working, and it was like wow, I don't have any reason to call these people. There's no conventions,
Yep. It was definitely a blessing in disguise.
It was.
That's how we were able to start our show because COVID.
Same with us.
We've been talking about doing it for seems like the last 5 years, and it's like, we need to do that. And then finally it's like, this is the time. And, it's been really fun.
It's been fun. We've met a lot of cool people. We've talked to a lot of cool people. Yeah. We even freaking, a year in, we just got nominated in the Rondos. So that's like cool, man.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're pretty hyped
about it. Nominated.
Yeah, there's a lot of shows on it I would definitely vote for over us, but it's still cool, man. It felt good to be included in that list. Speaking of the podcast, how did you connect with Christopher Nelson and get that show going?
Well, we became really good friends. It's so funny is we've known each other for years, but never really talked. Like it was always like he knew me, I knew him. We'd see each other at a party or a convention and be like, hey man, hey, good to see you, and we didn't really talk. And I always thought he thought I was a dick. I could just like, that guy thinks I'm an asshole. I can just tell. Look at the way, look at him, grumpy face over there. And that's just him. And then I remember when we finally talked, he said, I always thought you hated me. And I'm like, I always thought you hated me. And he's like, are you serious? I go, yeah, dude. And we found out we were just both the same guy, just kind of judging across the room. And then, we became friends mainly through the new Halloween movie, because I'm so involved with that franchise that we kind of got pushed together. And then we became super close, quick, like buddies, And yeah, COVID happened, and we're sitting around going, fuck, what the hell are we going to do? And we were just talking one day, and he's like, we should do a podcast. I'm like, I've always thought about doing one, but I never thought, I didn't want to do it alone. You need somebody you can bounce things off of. And I just never really thought I knew the right person. And when he said that to me, I was like, he's the right person for sure. And so we tried it. I didn't even know how we do this. How do we do it? It's like, I was like messaging other podcasts, like, what do you use? How do I do this?
Yeah. YouTube was my best friend when we started.
Yeah.
I was just asking for help, and we, Zoom, how do I install this? Why is this thing, it was just like the whole process of learning, which I'm surprised I had the patience for,
Yeah. Did it make you feel like an old man? You kind of have the
get
off my lawn moment.
Yeah.
That's one of the best segments. That's one of my favorite segments in every show I listen to is get off my lawn. That's
so funny is like, that just happened as it just happened. I mean, we just started bitching about something, and then I said, and I'm like, and when I was editing, I would try to add in some funny shit, and I put in the clip of fucking Clint, get off my lawn, and I was like, hey, this could be like a segment. But then I didn't really think much more of it until people started going, dude, that get off my lawn thing is the best, and I'm like, really? Oh, okay. I can bitch about a lot of stuff. I hate everything. Yeah, so I start taking notes. So every time something pisses me off, I go into my notes and I put, blah, 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 and I save it for the show. And I'm like, okay, hold up.
That's good. Yes. So the thing with Two Heads, you can listen to it just about everywhere you can find podcasts, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, now we joined. We're asked to be partners, or I don't even know how it works. Sponsor, I don't know how it works. I'm just completely ignorant to the whole thing. But it's Slash and Cast Network. Okay. So they are putting it the audio version out on all the platforms, and then of course we have it on the video version on YouTube on the Malfunction channel. Which in hindsight's a terrible name, for the channel. I actually think our channel would be way more successful if it had an easy, catchy name. But
but it's just been your name, and it just kind of grew into what it is, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it's still going. We got a respectable subscriber base, and it seems to, our biggest issue, and this is, old man Sean here learning YouTube and talking to all my YouTuber friends, it's consistency in content is the real key. And once Chris and I got busy, we just don't have the time, and that includes me doing Horrors Hallowed Grounds or any of these collection videos that I was doing. I mean, believe me, if I could just stop everything I was doing and make a bunch of videos, like people are begging me to continue my poster collection videos because I stopped at a certain letter, and I just got busy, and then I've shot like 8 Horrors Hallowed Grounds episodes I haven't even edited yet. So it's like, well, when I have free time, I want to get to editing those. I don't really have time to film that when I need to edit this, And then
definitely get it. Get it. Yeah.
Trying to get Chris and I at the same time, and then, trying to wrangle in a guest as well, which we haven't had a guest on an episode in a while, because it's always one of those things, dude. Hey, are you busy today? Oh, like in about 2 hours? Yeah. You want to do it? Okay, let's do it. Just like, you can't just call up somebody and go, hey, you want to be a guest on our show in about a half hour?
Yeah, no, and it's not like you book an actor, we're scheduled 2 weeks out.
Yeah.
They get a booking that takes precedent over turning on a show. So it's like, you can't really, that's why if I have any guests on or anything, I don't announce them or anything until I have the conversation like in the can recorded.
Yeah.
Before I announce it, because stuff like that could happen. We've had it happen a couple times. But I know we're getting tight on time. Anything else you want to plug? Any conventions coming up people should go to?
No, I mean, I don't make any money off them coming to a convention. No, I do, I guess, indirectly. But like this weekend, I don't know when this is going to air. When probably not.
This
probably
coming
not.
Week. Next week, next Tuesday, next Wednesday.
So by the time you're hearing this, I'll have just had a incredibly successful weekend at Monster Mania in New Jersey with the cast of Dexters there and other people, and that should be fun. And then the following weekend is the weekend I'm dreading. That's the Fandemic, the Walking Dead convention in Atlanta, which that's just going to be a zoo, and it's I haven't worked with Norman Reedus and Jeffrey Dean Morgan since the last Walker Stalker convention, which was October 2019.
Right before everything hit fame.
So I've worked with them since we've done private signings and stuff, and I've seen them, but this is the first time we've done a public appearance since October 2019. So
it's definitely going to be a wild one.
It's going to be stressful.
Yeah, so, I've gone and I've ended up in the Reedus convention lines. That's probably the first time I met you. You guys definitely stay busy.
Yeah, it's rewarding.
Oh yeah.
But it's definitely exhausting. Yeah. And then the weekend after that, which was let me look at my calendar here. So I keep calling it Walker Stalker. It's not Walker Stalker. Pandemic. It's a different company. So that is March 18th to the 20th. And then the weekend after that is Horror Hound weekend, which is in Sharonville, Ohio, just outside Cincinnati, which is March 25th to the 27th. I'm really looking forward to that one, because that's my favorite convention to do, because all my best friends go to that one, and it's like our big family, because I've been with Horror Hound since, God, I think I joined Horror Hound as a writer in 2007, I think. The Horrors Hallowed Grounds article first debuted in issue number 4, and I think they're closing in on 100 pretty soon. I don't know what issue they're on right now. I don't have the current one handy, but I know they're getting up there. So that's my family there. So I love seeing those guys, and that's to me the funnest show. And we got such a cool lineup. I got all the Scream people there, and they're all just a absolute delight to work with. They're just so much fun. And we got Dick Warlock coming back finally, doing his first convention back in several years. And a big Halloween 3 reunion, and it's going to be so much fun. I'm really, that one's going to be a lot of work too. I mean, I've got like 20 clients there, so it's going to be stressful, but fun stressful. I don't anticipate any issues. Everything usually can be handled, and they're all different dynamics, man. Everything. There's so many things that come into play at these conventions that fans don't understand and just don't appreciate.
Yeah.
I mean, I see these promoters just getting beat up online over the most trivial fucking lame things. And it's like, you guys have no idea how hard these guys work to put these shows on for you, and you're going to sit there and piss and moan and fucking light them up online over they didn't post so-and-so's autograph price. Really? I mean, come on. I mean, be grateful that these guys are bringing these people in for you, they don't know the work and the shit that guys like me and Dave Hagen and Lloyd Cryer and Nathan Hanneman and Eben McGar and Kevin Clement, and the list goes on. These promoters, what they deal with, I want to do a little documentary just on if you watch that thing that I did with Jamie Lee Curtis that her sister did and brother-in-law called The Night She Came Home, which is on the Halloween Blu-ray, that you definitely get a peek into that, but I'd like people to see it from the first phone call to the actual event and see how everything works and see what we really do, what I do, what guys like Dave and Nate do. I think they would be shocked if they're like, oh, wow, there's a lot more to it than just calling up a celebrity and ask them if they want to come. It's like, yeah, no shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've been a music promoter in the past, and Steve has done, the same thing with comedy. And, we definitely know there's more to it than that. And all the little extra stuff that people that come to the events, they just don't know about it. A lot of them probably wouldn't care anyway.
Yeah, they wouldn't, but you don't realize that, the slightest thing can just cause a ripple effect. I'll just give you an example. Just today, I had, one celebrity contact me and say, oh, it looks like I got to work on the Friday of the show next weekend. I'm not going to be able to do Friday. I'm like, okay, got to call the promoter, tell him, got to cancel the hotel room, cancel the car. I got to let my assistant know she doesn't have to work Friday now. Blah, blah, blah. Let's get a hold of the photo ops people. You need to cancel this photo op and refund those. An hour later, oh, they cleared me for Friday. I'm good now. Okay, now I got to call everybody back and we got to redo it. It's like people don't get it. Like, it's not just invite them, they show up and they make money. They make tons of money. And it's like, that's not everything that goes into it, man. It's like, it's a lot of friggin' work.
It's a machine.
It is.
Thing, yeah. I think that would be a really interesting documentary. And I think it's something you should try to push to do. I mean, even if you can't do a whole production, maybe do like a series on YouTube even.
Yeah. The reason I haven't, I'll be perfectly honest with you. The reason I haven't done it is because I would literally be putting together a blueprint of how to do my job, where these fans that try to get in the business would basically watch and, oh, this is how you do it. This is, and I don't need to give them any tips. You know what I mean?
No, that's taking food off your table, basically.
Yeah. Maybe I'll film it. Yeah. I'll keep it in the can, and then when I decide to walk away from this, I'll put it up and like, here's how I use
all the trade secrets out there and just sell it. Just sell it to somebody. Like, you want to get in the business.
Cochran. Yeah. I'm Connell Cochran. Trade secrets.
There you go.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
All right. One last time, where can everybody find you on social and YouTube and all that? And then we will get back to our day.
Twitter, Instagram, I think my personal Facebook, but I'm at my limit, but And YouTube, it's all under @malfunction, MALFUNSEAN. So it's the word malfunction. Drop the TION and add SEAN. And then on Facebook, I had to start, a fucking goofy, pretentious fan page. And that is facebook.com/Sean Clark official. Not to be confused with all the Sean Clark unofficial pages out there. Although I will say, I have had some people make fake Sean Clark Instagram accounts, which I found hilarious. I don't know why somebody would waste their time doing that, but okay.
Nice. Well, I'm going to let you get back to your day. I know you got to prep for some conventions.
Yep. I'm going to immediately go back to ordering photos and printing price sheets for this weekend and all that good stuff. Good. And packing, because I leave tomorrow. So
yeah, you got to remember that part. Yeah.
Best of luck to you this weekend. I mean, I know you said you have like 20 clients or so. I hope you're able to actually
following weekend.
This weekend is, I think, 8 clients.
Okay.
So it's a light weekend, right? Yeah.
Even with that many, I hope you're able to enjoy yourself while you're there.
I will. Monster Mania is always a fun show. I think it's going to be a fucking zoo because of the whole Dexter thing. I think it's going to be way busier than normal. And that show's already asses to elbows, so there's going to be a lot of BO. It's going to be a lot.
Everybody's lifting everybody's lifting their mask mandates and everything everywhere. So people are just going to come pouring out into the streets. And
I'm not ready for it. Not ready for that yet.
I'm not even worried about COVID anymore. I'm worried about every other damn cold and virus and flu going around now. Everybody's taking their masks off, but
I will probably be wearing mine. I will definitely be wearing mine going through crowds. When I get stationary, I'll probably take it off. Like if I'm sitting behind a table or something, a little bit of a barrier there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy, man. I've been around. We've been doing conventions pretty full time since June. Been around thousands and thousands of people, and I can't believe neither myself nor my girlfriend have gotten it. Neither of us have gotten it.
Good. Great.
I just went to Metallica in Vegas, 70,000 people at Raiders Stadium, and the guy I went with got COVID.
Oh man.
And I didn't get it. And I was with him the whole weekend, man. I don't know how I didn't get it.
Wow.
But I'm starting to think I'm immune. I don't know. I mean, not that I'm.
Don't be testing that too much, though.
I know, but it's it's funny. I was talking to Nathan from Whorehound about this last night, and we are both so paranoid about catching it before Whorehound because it's like I was just thinking if I get COVID this weekend at Monster Mania and I can't do Fandemic next weekend where I got Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Norman Reedus, and they are going to lose their shit,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they would be understanding, but I would be sitting at home not being able to sleep right by the phone going, everything okay constantly, Yeah. I just, and then if I missed Whorehound, oh God, I'd be so bummed. That'd be like going to a kid and going, you can't do Christmas this year. I'm sorry. You're going to have to sit this one out, Yeah. I mean, that's how much fun, that's how much I enjoy Whorehound that's to me is like the most fun show because again, I get to see a lot of my closest friends who don't live in California. I only get to see them like twice a year.
Yeah.
And it's at Whorehound. So
it's the reunion.
Yeah. It's hanging with my buddies and, there's also that thing where, I'm friends with a lot of these promoters like Dave Hagen and Lloyd Cryer and Kevin Clement and stuff like that, but we're not friends. Like we talk on the phone and, that there is a friendship element there for sure. But like Nathan Hanneman's one of my best friends. So when I go to a Whorehound show, I know I don't have to worry about shit. Like if I need something done, it's going to get done. And there's not going to be any questions. It's, we got each other's back completely. And there's a comfort level to that takes off a lot of stress. knowing that when I walk into a room, if I don't like where something is, like, okay, wait, that's where you want me to have so-and-so, I would rather have them over there. We need to move that person who I don't work with. And they'll be like, okay, Sean, whatever you want. and the other agents fucking hate that. I'll tell you that right now. They all bitch like, oh, this is Sean Clark's show. It's like, well, it's not my show, but yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. This is the show. I got it over on you. These are my boys. They got my back.
And you're just thinking about the best interests of your clients too, and maybe the format of the place. And you don't want like two top star people right next to each other. You might want to spread some people out.
Yeah, I mean,
you've
Nate
been doing it. You know what you're doing.
Nate usually knows, like he we talk about it ahead of time, but he usually knows where people should go, and he's got a good eye for that. But he'll be like, ooh, I don't want to be over here. There's like a cold draft coming from this thing over here, and I know it's going to bother so and so. Let's put Billy Zane over there. Let's put him over there. He always wears that scarf. Put him over there.
He's coming prepared. He'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be good. BZ, you go over there, buddy.
See, it's business, and it's good that you know your clients on that level.
Yeah, well, Billy Zane is my client. That's
so that you know that your client will be bothered by the draft or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No. It gives them a comfort level, and
I mean, I even for a convention that starts for example, almost all conventions start on Friday at like 5 p.m. Right? So we usually get in Thursday night, and we have all Friday morning to set up. When I go to Horror Hound, I get in Wednesday night. So I have all of Thursday to fucking chill and go over there and look around and be like, I mean, I'm there way ahead of everybody. So they ain't got a chance. So, but like, for example, like Monster Mania, I think my flight arrives Thursday night at like 10:30 p.m. So by the time I get to the hotel, it's midnight. And the convention starts the next day. I got to get up ass crack early, and I get in there, and I do the same thing. I do it at every show. I'm usually the first agent you see. If you were there early, like hanging around while vendors are moving in and setting up, you're seeing me walking around figuring things out. I'm always the first guy, always. And that's why when the other guys come in, they're like, oh, wait a second, dude, wait, I want that spot over there. And why is that? And I'll be like, too late, bro. See my banner up?
Get up earlier. Yeah.
Banner's up, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not getting the ladder again.
Nope. Done. Claimed.
Well, we'll let you get to it, and then you got to get ready to go and claim your spots at this weekend's convention. So Thanks again for hanging out, dude.
Thank you very much.
No. It was good talking to you guys.
For sure.
Thank you.
Do this again sometime.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, horror and pop culture fans. This is actress Elise Costin from Interfere 2 and After Hours Cinema, and you are listening to The Steve and Crypto Show.
Hey, this is Dr. Gangrene. You're watching the Steve. No, you're not. You're listening to the Steve and Crypto Show right here on whatever network you're on. I don't know what you're on. Don't ask me. I can't see what you're doing, but keep listening and tune in next week for more cool content on the Steve and Crypto Show.
All right, we are back. Thanks to Sean Clark for hanging out. Hopefully he has a great next few weekends at conventions.
Yeah. If any of you are able to hit any of the conventions he's going to, and you can, just search for him online, and he's advertising all this stuff he's got going on. Just look for Sean Clark online. Like you said, Malfunction. Sean, MALFUNCSEAN. Malfunction. Yep. Just look that up, and you can find all the things he's got coming up in next couple months, if not more.
Yeah, go do that. Follow him. He's a good dude. Funny dude.
Yeah.
I dig his attitude. I think we vibe pretty well with him. So I definitely want to chat with him again. Let's throw a trivia question at these folks. So don't forget, make sure to hit us up if you got the answer to this or any of the past questions, because all the, we're doing 5 per episode, 5 slots per episode. First 5 people to message us, we'll send them stickers and stuff and put them in a drawing. we still have a few spots left on each week. So people are hoping a little more response from people on the trivia stuff, but I think it'll catch on. This is what we're doing. If you guys don't start playing trivia with us, we're going to start bringing back Crypto's stupid rhymes at the beginning. Do you want that?
How about that?
Is that what you guys want? But yeah, trivia. Let's do this. So, in the movie Maniac, what body part taken from victims did the murderer nail to mannequins?
I haven't even watched this movie.
Yeah, it's a older one. I think it's from like 81 or 2. It's crazy. It's a wild one. Dude's definitely a maniac. But yeah. So yeah, if you know the answer, in the movie Maniac, what body part taken from victims did the murderer nail to mannequins? DM him or I on Instagram or Twitter. He's CryptoZoo88. I'm the Steve Strout. Message us on the Facebook group.
Yep. Give us the answers to the trivia or the bad rhymes I'll be giving you.
Oh no! See that? He just gave you a taste.
Yeah, that's a taste of what's to come.
That's like when you were a kid.
That's
like when you were a kid and you were crying and your parents were like, "Want me to give you a reason to cry?" That was kind of like giving a little warning. Like, this is what you get. You asked for it. It hurts me more than it hurts you.
Please no.
Yeah. So yeah, trivia. Do it up. Hit us up. Get some stickers, get in our drawing.
Barbra Streisand on South Park, when she starts singing to the kids to torture them. You know, she wanted like some triangle thing or whatever, and they didn't know what she was talking about, so she just started singing. They're like, "Please, no, my ears are burning."
That's funny. Remember when they thought the goat was Stevie Nicks?
Oh yeah,
South Park. That was a good class. That was old. That was like 100 years ago.
What's the one where Stevie Nicks was like farting on stage or something and they called her Steamy Nicks?
Really?
Yeah, there's some episode where like, what is it? Stan's playing Guitar Hero. It's got to be the Guitar Hero one then, I guess. He's playing at a bar or something like that. And I think it's been so long and I've watched so many episodes.
Look it up.
I think like Randy shows up there and is like watching him perform or whatever, but then there's like a Steamy Nicks character and there's some other character there that's also shit related. It's a very funny episode.
You have to look it up and let us know.
Yeah,
so I could dig it up and watch it. Yes, so we're gonna wrap it up. We just want to remind you guys to visit our patreon.com/Steve Crypto. We just put up a new audio clip on there today for patrons only, and buymeacoffee.com/Steve Crypto. Both of those places you can contribute to the show and help us grow and help us improve and all that good stuff that we definitely need to do.
If you like wearing t-shirts, you can head over to Etsy/shop/Steve and Crypto merch. And we have a couple shirts. We got coffee mugs. We got magnets.
Did you actually remember the whole link? Is that the whole thing?
That is the whole thing.
Oh, I just tell people to just go on Etsy and search Steve and Crypto, and it pops up too.
Yeah, that works just fine.
Buy a shirt. I still do got a few of the hats left too, so you can hit me up to get those directly from me. Facebook group, go join that.
Yep.
And rate and review us wherever you listen. That definitely helps.
Oh, of course, we are nominated for this year's Rondo Awards, which I don't think we even mentioned earlier.
We did. We sort of.
Laura Bloodraw, of course, our guest this week that you just listened to. He is also a fellow nominee like we are, and we're very happy to even be on the list with people like Laura Bloodraw and Elvira and Svengoolie, Joe Bob Briggs.
Yeah.
So, we would greatly appreciate a vote if you want to head over to rondoaward.com, and you don't have to vote for everything. There's a long list, but you can just vote for whatever you like, but as long as one of them.
Do take the time to go through the list, because there's a lot of cool creators and content in there that you might not know about. And maybe you'll find something new. Maybe you'll find your new favorite book or your new favorite podcast, or just pop in there and just vote for your third favorite podcast, the Steve and Crypto Show. Yeah. But there's a lot of cool shit on there. Check out some of the horror hosts. Like I said, we're doing the horror host series, so they'll be popping up in here, and it's a fun What was it? Blood Raw said John Stanley called it folk art.
Yeah.
I love that. That's the best. But we're gonna wrap now. We will talk to you guys next week, hopefully, unless something crazy happens, which is always a possibility in our lives.
Oh yeah.
So I have been Steve.
I'm Crypto Zoo. We'll catch you on episode 70.
Fucking 70.